Alright, so with Boruto chapter 78 coming out in just a few days, I actually want to talk about what we should be expecting for this next upcoming chapter. I mean, we definitely do have a couple of minor spoilers to kind of go over, and we definitely have an idea of what we should be expecting, but if you guys like more content like this, do me a huge favor, like, comment, and subscribe, as well as joining our Discord server down below if you want to talk to me directly, or join in on community debates, and let's jump straight into it. My boy Abdul on Twitter, definitely go check him out. So essentially, he actually gave us the cover art for Boruto chapter 78, and it will be titled A Big Fool or A Big Idiot. Viz might translate that slightly differently, but it's definitely a very interesting cover. A couple things to note is, I mean, who is going to be the big fool or the big idiot here? My money's probably going to be on either Naruto, Kawaki, or Boruto. One of the three. I mean, those three are kind of taking the spotlight at the moment over the whole code stuff. Naruto obviously being referred to as an idiot multiple times throughout Shippuden in part 1. In this case, I think it may be a foolish decision taking Kawaki in that they might be referring to. There's also Kawaki himself, who seems to have a little bit of twisted morals, and Naruto himself even calling Kawaki his stupid son at some point, you know, idiot being a synonym of like a stupid person. Anyways, it seems that based on the title of this chapter, the focus might be on Kawaki or Boruto here, especially because Naruto is now sealed away. Another thing I wanted to point out, which might be kind of minor, but I thought was pretty interesting, was the color scheme here of Naruto. It's everything that's essentially supposed to be orange or red is blue in this image, which is a little bit of a contrast to what we usually see. It's essentially the opposite color scheme, blue representing more cold colors, and Naruto kind of turning his back here, which I think is actually pretty symbolic and a lot of attention to detail, because I think that something that might make Kawaki snap in the future is just Naruto kind of turning his back on him, because obviously in chapter 77, Kawaki made a point to say that Naruto is everything to him, and he's really shaped the person who he is now, and he's essentially the only person that he really cares about. So having a sharp contrast here I think is pretty interesting. I don't know if they're going to fix that for the actual release, but I thought that was something pretty interesting to note here. But again, if we look at where we left off on chapter 77, Kawaki actually ended up stealing away Naruto, stating that it was his mission to kill all the Otsutsuki, including Boruto, and that he was very disappointed when Boruto was found to be alive, because he feels like he failed. So that's kind of his mission here. We also get to see something very interesting. He points out his personal view of what a shinobi or a ninja is. It's those who die earlier. Obviously, he doesn't want Naruto to die, so he ends up sealing him away. And this kind of goes back to what we saw in the beginning of Boruto, when we see an older Boruto and Kawaki face off against each other. They're very brief dialogue that we see talking about the end of the shinobi and how Boruto is still a shinobi. So obviously he doesn't really identify himself with a ninja, as his viewpoints have kind of changed since acquiring the powers of Otsutsuki. I also think this is pretty interesting that Boruto and Kawaki seem to mirror the dynamic of Naruto and Sasuke, as they both kind of have shared common interests until the end. You know, in Naruto Shippuden, we see Naruto and Sasuke fight alongside each other against Madara and against Kaguya, but as soon as she gets sealed away, they start fighting again. So I kind of feel like it's going to be a similar dynamic here, where Boruto and Kawaki are going to have to team up to fight against Code, but you know, as soon as that threat's over, right when you forget about it, they're going to go right back to fighting. And I think that's going to be sooner rather than later, based on the fact that I actually pointed out that we have new character designs for them immediately following the time skip. So it looks like this is going to be, Code's attack is going to be happening sooner rather than later. So I mean, the fact that Kawaki just sealed away Naruto means that he is likely planning on leaving the village soon, which kind of conflicts narratively speaking with Code's plan, because essentially Code wants to attack the Leaf with his army of split Ten Tails, but obviously Ida's watching, so he can't really do that. He doesn't have the element of surprise. Then he wants to take away everything that Kawaki cares about by attacking the Leaf. But the problem is that Kawaki might actually end up leaving the Leaf. So I think what's going to happen is that sooner rather than later, Code's going to end up making his attack before Kawaki actually leaves. And at the end of this arc, at the end of the Code attack arc, I think Kawaki will, you know, leave. He'll go on his own mission to try to kill all the Otsutsuki. We might see some more reveals of Shibai Otsutsuki, and I think later, towards the end of the series, we're gonna have kind of like a Naruto and Sasuke dynamic, where Sasuke kind of just leaves and they come back at the end to fight. We're gonna see something very similar, I would imagine, kind of leaving us in suspense until the end of the franchise, or the main primary arcs that they're gonna go through, and they're gonna settle their differences in the end. So I don't imagine that we're gonna see a conclusion to this anytime soon, but I do think that the Code attack arc on Konoha is going to be very fast approaching, and I'm very excited to see where they're going with this, because obviously these past couple of chapters have been kind of dialogue based chapters, not a whole lot of action, because obviously, you know, Code can't really do anything. Ida and Daemon are just kind of getting accustomed to the Leaf, but they're not really fighting, so there's not much fighting going on here. But I do think that will be happening very soon thereafter. Anyways, that's pretty much it. I mean, the chapter's gonna be coming out in like 3 or so days. I'm very curious to see who you guys think is gonna be the big fool or the big idiot in this chapter, as the title name. name implies. And what are you guys exactly expecting for these next upcoming chapters? Do me a huge favor, like, comment, subscribe if you like more content like this. Join our Discord server if you want to talk to me directly, or join in our community debates and whatnot. Cop our channel hoodie, and I'll catch you in the next one.